welcome to the Big Scuba podcast. Thanks for downloading. Time to get on board and let's go diving. Mind those ropes.
Okay, here we are. So, my name is Will Appleyard, and here I am with Gemma and Ian once again on the Big Scuba podcast.
Well, welcome back.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's great to be back, and it's been 6 years, hasn't it? And my goodness, time has flown since then.
Has gone quick.
Yeah, it certainly whizzed by. So, yeah, we obviously connected again, and we thought we'd get you back and discuss what's happened since November 2020. But obviously, you've got somebody else with you this time as well.
We do. Núria, introduce yourself.
Yes, this is Núria Paré Soldevila, and I'm here in the Big Scuba podcast with Ian and Gemma.
Hello and welcome to the Big Scuba podcast. My name is Ian, and with me right here is...
In person, Gemma from the Big Scuba podcast.
Yeah, we often do these in Zoom, don't we?
I know we do.
Right from the top, let me tell you these episodes are sponsored by the lovely people at Narc 90 because their service is
beyond technical, and you can check out their website. They cater for all diving needs, whether you're recreational right through to the technical diver.
Yeah, so look them up, narc90.com. As usual, we've got guests for you lined up. Coming up later on in this episode, we speak to
Will Appleyard and his partner Núria. And they're based in Spain, and they came on the podcast to talk about their filmmaking that they carried out in Costa Rica. So we heard about the environment and the diving as well.
Yeah, and not new to the podcast. Previous guests from some time ago, actually not long after we'd started.
November 2020, and I think it was episode 40 something.
Yeah, it's quite early on that. We're going to have a chat about what we're seeing on the news as well in the lovely world of social media. First off, did you see the rocket? Wow.
Yes, it's a major event in the world, isn't it?
Just a bit, yeah. Congratulations to everyone at NASA and everyone involved getting that off into the air. Absolutely amazing to watch the Artemis 2 launch and Thursday night.
I did see somebody post on social media about diving and astronauts because
we spoke to a few.
We've spoken to an astronaut as well.
We spoke to Mike Fink a while back, and he told us all about their training. We spoke to Peter Miller, didn't we? Yeah. About the neutral buoyancy laboratory at the big pool.
Yeah, he was a technician, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. Yeah, and just recently, I know Deep have been talking about that as well on their social media, about the, how we dive in and science and NASA and everything that they're doing and all the things that are going on with for astronauts to train. There's so many things to learn, and with being underwater helps train for space, being in space, especially for long periods. And that, in fact, NASA for years have had that Nautilus in Florida, which sits about 10 meters, 6 meters, maybe 6 meters or 10 meters down for their training, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, well, we spoke to, it was Dr. Deep, wasn't it?
Dr. Deep,
as well. He was connected.
In fact, I'm pretty sure, I can't remember which one, but I saw an interview recently of one of the astronauts who had gone up, who are actually on the way to the moon as we speak. He spent some time in that Nautilus as well.
Yeah. So, look up the previous episodes where we spoke to the astronauts and the technicians, because it's all very relevant to the current times.
Yeah, and we should also say another big congratulations. There's been a birth.
Birth in the diving.
Since we're last on, there's been a birth.
It has. So, Dive with Jimmy, James Sues. We've spoken to him on the podcast, and he's just become a dad.
Yeah, so, congratulations.
And to Emma as well for doing the work.
Yeah, better not forget the mother. Let's not forget what Emma's. Emma did have a role to play in this.
She did, for quite a long time.
Yeah.
So I think their little girl, her name is Zara.
Lovely name.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm sure they're just getting into parenthood roles and getting used to having an extra person.
Well, you've been away?
Yes. So, well, when we brought out the last podcast recording, I was over in Forteventura.
Sunning it up.
Yes. But it was quite interesting. There was a dive centre in the resort I was, but there wasn't any diving taking place because we had quite rough weather. But it was also Playa de Castillo is a nursery for angel sharks.
Oh, really?
So, and they're one of the most endangered species of shark. They're on the critically endangered list. But yeah, it was really interesting. There was all the placards on the beach, and I'll post something about it. But yeah, really interesting. And there was even a QR code. So if you spotted any, then if you were, walking on the beach, because they bury themselves in the sand. But if you spotted them, then there was a,
What's
something.
the underwater sign for shark?
Yeah. So apparently they're quite commonplace for divers that are diving out there, and swimmers. So yeah, that was kind of quite interesting.
Talking to sharks, we should also say the Shark Trust and BZAC are partnered up. So there's going to be things going on with them.
Yeah, about shark eggs and ray eggs, where they lay them.
Reporting them. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. If you look at BZAC, there's a big thing on Scubaverse at the minute, where they did a reporting on it, and or BZAC's website. Go there for more information.
Yeah, or go to the Shark Trust website, because that's another good site. And also another guest we spoke to at the Go Diving Show, Jake Davis, JD Scuba. He's very much into the shark.
That man is far too
fit.
Busy. Well, he's far too busy. He needs more. He needs more things to do, because he's now been. Who goes running? He does these ultra marathons. Jake Davies do. That man is way too fit, as you say.
Yeah.
What is it?
70 odd kilometres, ultra marathon.
Does he know you could get a taxi?
But he enjoys it.
I know he does. In all seriousness, but
yeah, well done.
It's pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah, 9 hours of actual running.
He ran 73 kilometres in the Tuscan Hills, and completed it in 9 hours 29 minutes.
Yeah, incredible. Yeah. And then outside of all his fitness stuff, he is very much into scuba diving, seagrass, sharks, and promotes UK diving really, a lot. Yeah. And then talking of fitness, that's the other thing we've been up to, isn't it? We keep maintaining our dive fitness. Yeah. So me, lots of running and swimming, and you, lots of crossfitting.
Yeah, crossfitting with the happy crossfitters. It's been CrossFit Open this over the course of the last few weeks. So 26.1, 2 and 3 for me. Yeah. So that's it. Didn't get any further. Not like me either, really. But anyway,
taking part that counts.
Everyone's a winner.
Yes, and it's the moving. You keep moving.
Absolutely, everyone's a winner.
Yeah, so we do say that. It's just anything's better.
These things are linked, aren't they? People must think we just put these things together, but they all flow. Yeah. I've got to say a big thank you to Halcyon. Thank you very much. So at the Go Dive Show, I asked one of the guys at Halcyon if I wouldn't mind if I could charge my battery for my camera, because that was getting a bit low, and we still had some recording to do. And then, the buzzer rings and the time is called at the
people
end
talking and
this is on the Sunday, and we went one way, the battery went the other, but very kind I contacted Halcyon, the guys at Halcyon, and they very kindly sent it back to me through the post.
Yeah,
very kind
and that is really quite a thing these days, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
honest
great.
And
it's great. I spoke to them online, and they've been brilliant. So thank you very much for sending that back. Yeah, so that's good. Also coming up, if I hope are you following Fourth Element, because Fourth Element at the minute are advertising. They've got a holiday. They got a liveaboard.
Yeah, that's
coming up.
The first.
Yeah. First one too. With Jim and
Paul Strike.
Yeah.
So it's going to the Galapagos Islands. So again, they'll be diving with whale sharks, volcanic reefs. So that's going to be amazing content. They're going with master liveaboards.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. I think the price was about $6,000.
Wow. Yeah.
So it's not cheap, but then it's for Galapagos. It's not going to be a cheap trip. But it's not until 2027, I believe it was, wasn't it? So you've got time to save up.
Yeah, and they're calling it the first Fourth Element expedition.
Oh, I'd say there'll be more. In some ways, I'm surprised they haven't done it before. But
14th to the 21st of June.
Yeah, pretty cool. It's definitely on my place to go, Galapagos.
Just short of $6,000.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm about $6,000 away from that at the minute. Too many other things I need those pennies for. But
that is a trip of a lifetime.
Oh God, yeah.
50,
awesome.
50 log dives, advanced open water and nitrox certification are mandatory.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So basic, pretty, requirements.
You're going to want to be on your A game for that, especially going for all that way as well.
You want it to get the most out of it, don't you, when you're there?
Yeah, but that'd be pretty cool as well, though, because you're going to be sharing the boat with those guys as well, and that's going to be a fun trip. So, look forward to seeing stuff come away from that. When that actually happens.
Yeah.
Let us know if you're going. If you've got your space, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, we'll put a link to the connection in the show notes.
Yeah. Deep, our friends at Deep Research over in Chepstow have been advertising as well. A lot of jobs coming up and what have you. And the Vanguard is going, that's all taken shape, and I think that's been launched in Florida. But also, if you want to learn saturation diving, there's a place in Chepstow now where you can go learn if you're interested in a career in hard hat diving.
Yeah, and if you follow the Deep Instagram account, they're being quite active on there with reels and videos.
Yeah, all the time.
So sort of putting it into perspective.
It just always makes me laugh because whenever they post a picture, and I know we have as well, when we put a picture up of the lake, there's always the umpteen comments going, "Oh, when can we go? When can we go?"
I know, but there we go. It's got its new lease of life.
Move on.
And
Move on.
there are other dive sites available in the UK. There is not just Stony Cove and Endac. There are lots of other sites.
It just always cracks me up when I see all the comments go, "Oh, please, can we come and dive?" No. Anyway, I think that's kind of it, isn't it, in the news?
Yes, I think it's just a reminder to give us a follow on our YouTube. Our last recent videos out there about the Go Diving show, and in the Auto Trail Expedition 68 XL.
There'll be more. There's going to be hopefully more. We're in the throes of chatting to Auto Trail this year, so there'll hopefully be some more auto trail trips. I know we're off to the farms and we've got some other things planned. And again, you can
see our adventures in the XL motorhome that we had last summer as well, and that's on YouTube.
So look out for that. Right, should we get our guests on?
Yes, so this is episode 224, and we're talking to Will Appleyard and his partner Núria. Before, when we spoke to you, Will, we just spoke to you, but now, we've got your partner with you as well. So how has that come about?
When we spoke last time, I just finished the book Wild and Temperate Seas, which was published by Dived Up Publications, and it was a bit of a lockdown project, a boredom project. So that kind of got produced during that time, and just sort of ticked over ever since. And that was my third book. So there was Dorset. So there was Discover UK Diving, out of print now. Dorset Dives, which has just gone out of print. In fact, I wanted to touch on that a bit later. Okay. And obviously this one. So that was my sort of third book. And since then, because before and leading up to lockdown, I was doing loads of press trips for Diver magazine mainly, and some other sort of adventure sports magazines and things. But of course, the whole COVID situation kind of killed off Diver magazine, really, which is a shame because it's been running for 50 years. And therefore the kind of press trips kind of, dried up a little bit. And I was sort of doing other things, other sort of photography projects, more sort of land-based. And I was really heavily into paragliding at the time as well, which is kind of what ended up why I ended up in southern Spain. Paragliding sort of brought me here. And then, a couple of years went on and my sort of situation kind of changed, and I kind of moved from where I was when I spoke to you guys, which was just north of Seville in a place called the Sierra Norte. And now I'm kind of a bit further deeper into Andalusia. And then Núria and I met, it'll be 4 years ago this year. And but she lives, she's based at the other end of the country, in the north in Catalonia, in the northeast of the country. So we're a bit sort of between the two places. And since, maybe the last 2 years, we've got quite heavily into filmmaking, still a bit of photography, but more filmmaking. And it's kind of taken off really quickly. We just sort of threw ourselves into it and it just went mad. And I think within the last 2 years, we've won 5 awards, and I've had several kind of
That's awesome.
special mentions and selections for film festivals and things like that. So we've really kind of got into it. And Núria and I have different roles within that process, but we're a team, and we've created this sort of entity called Amphibious Collective. So there's some other people involved, like a voiceover chap, Rick Armstrong, who I've known for years, does that, and people who make music and that sort of thing. So we've kind of thrown ourselves into that thing, really, and it's really taken off.
Yeah, that's amazing. Brilliant. Yeah, and it's not all been diving or water related, has it? You've done paragliding stuff, hiking, mountaineering, and
so I made this film just off my own back, really, and got a little bit of sponsorship for it last year, in May last year, because we had a leg of the Paragliding World Cup. Can you believe there's such a thing? It came to Algodonales. It's a kind of competition that tours the world, and it came here, the village where I live, Algodonales. And I thought, I need to make a film about this because it's quite important for the town. So I did that with my former neighbour just down the road, and it got selected for a film festival and won. And we got a nice award, and it was also broadcast on Spanish TV. So it was incredible, really. So Núria and I, our connection really is not diving, it's more sort of mountain sports, so climbing and hiking, and we both like kayaking and snorkeling together. Of course, I'm a diver, but that's where we are really connected in the mountains. So a lot of our films have been mountain based, and now they're sort of definitely turning more into diving based films, particularly after this film that obviously we're going to talk about, we made in Costa Rica, Voices of Pura Vida. So we've now invested heavily since that film, in more equipment for filming underwater, and we've got plans for other projects. So it's just an ever evolving thing, really.
Yeah, it sounds. So what you've mentioned Costa Rica. So what actually got you over to Costa Rica? Was it being asked, or just something that you wanted to investigate?
Well, it was. It's funny because, again, COVID always comes back into the conversation, doesn't it? It's funny because just before that happened, I was meant to go to Costa Rica on a press trip. I was talking to this agency called Four, based in London, who were happy to send me there to do a piece for Diver magazine. a magazine commission type thing. And then all those plans went out the window, and that was that. But I kept in contact with them. And I've always wanted to go to Costa Rica. It's been up there, on the list of destinations that I've really been interested in. So I thought, let's get in contact with those guys and explore that place again. But to go as a press trip, to sort of be sponsored or funded to go, I needed to have a magazine commission. So I did a thing for Scuba Diver magazine, who I'm sure you guys are involved with in some degree. So we went on the premise of doing a magazine article, which I have done, and apparently it's just been published. So I don't know if you've got a copy, but apparently it's out there. But really, we wanted to make a film. So we did, obviously, the photography and everything for the Scuba Diver magazine piece, but our sort of heart and soul went into making a film there. And that's what we did. And on the film festival circuit, it seems to be doing quite well. But poor Núria, bring her back into the fold. So we had 2 big bags with us when we went out there. One was full of diving equipment. The other one was full of all our clothes. I mean, me being me, I took like 3 t-shirts and like 1 pair of shorts. So, but Núria had, all of her favourite clothes and things. And the airline lost the luggage on the way.
No way.
Oh no!
And we've still not got it back. So she was.
So where did that go?
She was, well, who knows? But Núria was, every day trying to kind of locate the luggage in between trying to have a nice time. So it was testing. So she's still dealing with it now.
Yes.
Quite good.
Yeah, so all you could wear was diving equipment. So it's a wetsuit.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully, I had all the diving stuff. I had everything. My my BC, a couple of wetsuits, fins, all the gear that you take with you, and that came through. But
Well, at least you didn't lose your dive kit.
I know, that's what I thought. Yeah.
So, what is the diving like in Costa Rica, and being on the water?
It's interesting. I didn't really do any research before going out there, apart from how warm is the water, just to know what wetsuit to take, whether it's 3 mil, 5 mil, dry suit. I had no idea. So I looked at the water temperature, so I knew what to take, and I thought, I'm going to let it be a complete surprise. A surprise it was, because we were on the Pacific side of the country. So we were sort of in the North Pacific and the South Pacific parts of the country. So the water's, I don't know, I think it was maybe 28 degrees, something like that. So, tropical warm water diving, which is nice. But the visibility is either really good or absolutely dreadful. It's really weird. So it felt like sometimes diving in, I don't know, like a quarry, but with tropical fish everywhere. And sometimes the odd shark going past, or it was sort of 25 meters with manta rays and things like this. So it's odd, but I suppose because it's so rich with life, there's a lot of nutrients in the water. So obviously that comes with a bit of poor visibility, but yeah, very varied. We heard and saw a lot of humpback whales. You could hear them when you were diving, really loud, which was quite cool. Bull sharks, that was an interesting dive. There's always reef sharks knocking about, and nurse sharks and big sort of shoals of fish. So yeah, very varied in the marine life and the visibility, basically.
Yeah, I don't think we've spoken to anybody that has discussed diving in Costa Rica. No, so you're a first.
So. No.
Yeah.
No, it's not really talked about. It's not really on the list, I don't think. But I was intrigued, I guess, also sort of by the country itself, because I can't remember the statistics now. They are in the film Voices of Pura Vida we made. But in such a small place, there's an enormous amount of species of insects and animals and things. I mean, it's just packed. Wherever you look, there's something going on. A monkey, a colourful bird, snakes. It's just, yeah, everywhere. Just wildlife.
Yeah. So while Will, you was diving, what was Núria doing? Were you snorkeling?
Me? Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, every day it was a little fight to see how I would do the activities, because I just had a t-shirt and some shorts. But yeah, I was basically on the boat, giving Will my support in the underwater, and speaking to the captain, discovering a little bit more about the country and its people. And yeah, it was really, really interesting.
Yeah. And it was your first visit to Costa Rica, was it?
Yeah, it was my first visit. I did the same as Will, not look at too many information, because then I don't know, you have an idea of something that you think you will find, and sometimes it doesn't happen like you think it will. So yeah, and it was incredible. And I think, at least in Europe, we have to learn a lot on how they do things in biodiversity and protecting the planet, because I think they have a really, really big culture in don't touch this animal, don't do this, don't do that, so everything is safe inland and underwater, which is magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's all country driven rather than charities or doing it on their behalf.
Well, what I understood is that the government bought most of the land, so now it's protected, and then they can build or work in it. So it's for the government, but also the culture that the people have. Don't throw rubbish, don't kill any insect, don't kill anything, because they deserve this planet the same way we do. So this culture of protecting is basically everywhere, and I think they have done two things. One is to protect the land, but also to educate the people, which I think is well, they are both important the same way.
Yeah, that's really good. And then if it is a cultural thing, it's going to be passed down to, every generation.
Exactly. And it was really clean. All the natural areas were really clean. I'm sure underwater was the same. Yes, and you can feel that they love every plant, insect, animal. I mean, I'm sure there's some people that don't think the same way, because there's always somewhere that these people hide. But in general, yes, and you feel driven to act like them, even if we kind of think the same way. But yeah, I think it's really good, and I think we should, in Europe or my country in Spain, we should learn a lot from them.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
It was sort of it's kind of normal for them as well. We go to places like this and we think, this is spectacular. Of course, no country is perfect, but the way that things are just protected, and they've got this lush rainforests and things, and fabulous marine reserves and things like that, it's just kind of normal, not a big deal. And I think in the film we mentioned that they've realized that a tree standing is worth more than one cut down, because they've got all this precious wood, all these fantastic trees that, imagine if you just cut it all down, they'd probably make quite a lot of money by selling the timber. But they've clearly realized that, really, there's more money.
Quite a balance in that.
Looking after the place.
For a country like that, it's quite a balancing act, isn't it? Because they probably don't have a huge what's the word, diversity of trades, so they've got to keep the population going and keep business going, and also create, I suppose, nature reserves and things like that where wildlife can't be taken and hunted and have to be protected.
Yeah, exactly. I think they've, what else have they to export apart from the beauty of their country?
What
So
did
I
you
guess,
see
yeah,
when
they
you was
kind of,
out there?
what do we see?
Yeah, when you was out there, did you see that going on like this, so do they say like there's some areas where that you can take, some areas that they can't, where that's protected?
Well, I think certainly in the south part of the country, we stayed in this wilderness lodge right in the rainforest, and they'd quite carefully kind of built this place. All the little buildings, the little cottages or whatever, bungalows were on stilts, and it really, protected. They hadn't kind of poured concrete all over the place, but we went to the north part of the country in the North Pacific side, and there were some sort of islands with kind of big hotels poking out of trees. So, of course, it is there. I think it would be untrue to say, oh yeah, no, they just like fantastic and they protect everything. There's clearly, big hotel chains that have got their foot in the door there for sure, and they're trying to kind of capitalize on that.
This episode is brought to you by Narked at 90, the cutting-edge pioneers in the world of diving equipment. Meet the founders, John Routley and Brent Hudson, who have logged thousands of mixed gas dives over the past 3 decades. About 20 years ago, these experienced technical divers combined their passion for diving and engineering skills to create Narked at 90. Whether you're new to diving and ready to take it up a notch, have a fair amount of experience, or are considering a transition into technical diving, we highly recommend Narked at 90. They're ready to advise on the best equipment and setup for your personal and commercial needs. Narked at 90 also has extensive hands-on experience with shearwater and ratio dive computers, being the longest-serving UK service centre for these brands. They're ready to offer technical support, servicing, repairs and upgrades for all shearwater and ratio computers past and present. In addition to shearwater and ratio, Narked at 90 stocks and supports many other brands such as DiveSoft, JJCCR, Hollis, Revo and Kiss rebreathers. The diving community is always enthusiastic about Narked at 90 and it's easy to see why. Here are just a few reasons. Full head servicing for rebreathers from various manufacturers, bespoke cable assemblies, advice on specific fitting requirements, suggestions and guidance for home builds, computer laser cutting and engraving, CNC milling and turning, pressure testing to simulate 400-metre dives. We're thrilled to partner with Narked at 90, a company that has ignited so much passion for diving and has been incredibly supportive and innovative in producing and selling dive equipment. Visit narkedat90.com to see why they're a renowned name in diving. Stay updated on their insights and offers by following them on social media. Just search for Narked at 90 on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram and hit that follow button.
As far as wildlife is concerned, I mean, you can tell, for example, the humpback whales, it's kind of where we were in the south. We went to a place called Canyo Island, and there's loads of whales everywhere with their kind of young, and they were there. It's a kind of a nursery, I suppose.
Wow.
And they treat them respectfully, and these whales come back all the time, and they sort of know how to look after these things, and everybody's really into it. When we were in this place called the Corcovado Wilderness Lodge, the staff, you'd think that after a while they'll be a bit like, oh yeah, another monkey, whatever, see it every day. But you can tell, like, they're not just trying to please the guests, but I thought they were genuinely really excited still about all the wildlife, even though they just see that every day and probably don't know any different. They'd go, look, there's some monkeys coming. Or they'd like run over to you and say, there's this particular creature. or there was a jaguar seen here yesterday, or a puma, and you can tell by their eyes that they are genuinely into it, and not just sort of looking after the guests sort of thing. So that was nice to see. So it's quite infectious, their interest.
Yeah, it must be kind of refreshing for you to see that, because you've obviously travelled other places, and the world isn't the same as maybe that country, is it?
No, exactly, and yeah, it was very, very different to any other place I've been. I mean, what tends to happen a bit, and it doesn't seem to have happened as far as I can tell with Costa Rica, but we weren't actually there that long. You get these kind of bucket list destinations, like Raja Ampat and places like that, and I've been there in Indonesia. Incredible. I don't think I've seen any better. The diving there was just unbelievable. But it is now one of those kind of, everyone wants to go there, or the sort of influencer types just to get photographs, not particularly interested in what's actually there. And I think that sort of spoils destinations. And there are places like Raja Ampat and in Indonesia and other destinations around the world that are, I think, borderline going to be ruined because of the amount of people. I'm people as well. I went there. I'm not saying that I'm special and everyone has to go away, but but Costa Rica sort of, it was genuinely sort of saturated with wildlife, and it was a great thing to do. It wasn't just a facade that they show you the best bits on Instagram or wherever. It really was just saturated with wildlife.
Yeah, and it sounds like the people have got the passion for it as well, and that's important. Yeah. So how did the film come about, Voices of Pura Vida? Did you decide to make it before you went, or was it just while you were there it evolved?
We definitely decided to make it before we went there. And we didn't really have a plan as to kind of what it was going to be, and just sort of filmed everything.
But we did have a bit of storyline, because we thought that they have this popular saying that they always say "pura vida" for everything, like in a way of hello, thank you, I'm with you, I feel you. And we thought, and I think we discussed that, Will, if I'm not wrong, that we wanted to film the underwater wall, the rainforest wall, the diversity, the animals, the plants, everything. But at the same time, the storyline was a little bit to follow what this expression was, or what did it mean to them. And I think that is kind of philosophy that's related to the conversation we were having before, that they are really thankful in a way for everything, and as well to the marine life and the rainforest life and everything. And Pura Vida at the end of the day is the expression that summarizes everything in a way, I think. But we said, well, we didn't have a very big plan, no.
No, but you're right. We did as soon as we kept hearing everybody say "Pura Vida, Pura Vida." I think that was the kind of springboard or the catalyst for where the film was going to go. Absolutely. Yeah, no, Núria is right about that. And Núria was, she wrote all the narrative. So our dear friend Rick Armstrong, he's a radio show host as well, actually, but he also does a lot of our voiceovers, and he sort of narrated this film. And I think without that, Núria wrote it. He delivered the voiceover. I think without that, it would be a bit flat, the film, and he really brought it to life. Well, Núria and him really brought it to life. That's
and you did as well, Will.
Well, it's all teamwork, isn't it?
Yeah. So how many dives did you do out there while you were in Costa Rica?
Not that many. Probably about 8 or 9, or maybe 10. Maybe 10 dives. So we did. I did two or three dives in the south, and then we did a dive with some bull sharks, which was interesting, and then a few kind of sort of random sort of reefy dives, and some dives with some guys from a conservation alliance that were restoring these reefs, and we did some dives with them and sort of filmed their work, and that was good fun. But it was a funny thing because the itinerary, tourist boards are really disorganized people, which is odd. And I'm not just saying that about them, Costa Rica. Globally, I've always found this, and I think that's why they often work with agencies, because the agencies sort of organise them.
Right.
But you'd think, to be like a tourist board, part of your sort of what you do is being organised. But anyway.
But
so
what
anyway,
do you mean when you say that? Do you mean that you went to them to ask where to go and they weren't sure?
No. So what I mean by that is I was given an itinerary before we went, and it said, right, you're going to do this, and this on every day. Quite an organised itinerary. But it all sort of changed quite rapidly. And also one of the sort of, funniest moments in the end was, so we flew to Costa Rica from Spain and landed in the city San Jose, which is the capital city there. Spent a night there, and the next day, the itinerary said you will be collected at, let's say, 8 o'clock in the morning by a taxi, where you'll be taken to the airport for another flight to this place called the Osa Peninsula. I was thinking, okay, well, looks like we're going to get an internal flight and go somewhere. There wasn't really any information. Anyway, we were sort of waiting at the hotel foyer in the morning with our one bag, and anyway, this taxi didn't arrive, and we were trying to get hold of the people in London, but of course they are behind
6 hours.
I can't remember the time difference. The time difference was like 5 or 6 hours, wasn't it, or more?
Yeah.
We couldn't get hold of them.
We must be.
They were all asleep, and then we couldn't get a hold of any tourist office in Costa Rica. And it was like, right, well, whatever this flight was, we've missed it, and we were only there for a week, so we couldn't afford to kind of miss anything. We had to do everything. Anyway, so we just sort of threw our hands in the air and like, okay, well, what we're going to do? And then this random taxi turned up an hour later and said, okay, I'm here to take you to the airport. Like, okay, I was thinking, what? And we got in with our one bag and started driving. And I was thinking, we're not going to the airport. Where are we going? And we ended up at this little tiny airport. And the taxi driver pulled up to the front of this airport, more of an airfield, really. And there were two pilots waiting at the entrance and said, oh, hi, we're your pilots. I'm like, what? Like, and they took our bags and then walked us to this tiny little 2-seater plane and said, yeah, we were going in this, and we're taking you down an hour flying down the coast of the Pacific to a little place on the Osa Peninsula, really remote place. So it's funny because one minute we were just in complete despair, no luggage, didn't know what was going on. Next minute we were drinking a beer in this private plane, flying down the coast of the Pacific coast of Costa Rica, thinking, this is just fantastic. and then we landed in this little like jungle airstrip, and then were picked up by a boat to go to another little place. So it went from a bit kind of disastrous to like amazingly wild and interesting, the experience. So
sounds like they had a plan.
Yeah, they did have a plan. We just didn't know what it was. But in the end, we just thought, do you know what? We're not going to worry about it. Someone's just going to come and get us wherever we need to be.
Turn up.
And that's what happened. We just wait somewhere, and then someone would arrive.
There's
and
different
take
cultures,
us.
isn't it? In Europe,
Yeah.
very regimental, can't we? With time, especially with time. And I suppose over there they're not. That happens when it happens.
No, it's like Pura Vida. Yeah.
So, Núria, are you quite well travelled, or was this all quite a new experience in South America?
Yeah, this was my first time in South America. I've been around Europe, but I've never been in South America, and it was a really funny experience. I think it was really interesting because here in Spain we have lots of Latin American people, and yeah, you more or less you kind of get their culture, but once you're there, I mean, you can experience it with your own skin and body, and yeah, they're super nice people.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was my first time in South America, and yeah, it was
and
fantastic.
Pura Vida, that means simple life or good life?
I think it means empathy at the end of the day. In like, thank you, welcome, I'm with you, don't worry. It's got many sense and lots of meanings, but I think at the end of the day, the word or the synonym could be empathy in
pure,
some sort
pure
of way.
life, but yeah, empathy.
Pure life.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pure life in the sense of it's gonna be fine, no worries. We are here, we are with you. Pura vida. Just gotta enjoy what we have, the present, and this wall that they have there. It was really nice. I think the philosophy they have is really nice.
Yeah, sounds like we could learn a lot from them.
Yeah.
So from being there, and how long did it take you to produce the film? From through the editing, and a long time, or?
I think editing wise, I sort of always forget these things. I don't think it was very long. We probably edited it in a week. Núria might correct me, but
I think you forget the time that you spend editing things. But it was quite an intense week or couple of weeks, but like 24 hours nearly. But I think that you forget the hours that you spend on the computer.
Yeah, I bet. And the film is really, really clear. So you must have been recording everything, high-end cameras, like 4K, things like that.
Yeah, I shot it in 4K. We've got one, should get a backup really, because we've got one Sony Alpha 7 S3 camera, which is really, really good for filming. And so we've got that and a microphone set on top. I guess a bit like the setup that you guys use when you're out and about. So that, in fact, there's a couple of things I'm annoyed with myself about. Since that trip, I've invested in a really nice housing for it with a lovely dome port to take diving, and I've made a couple of sort of short films, one in Gibraltar and one up near where Núria lives in the Meadows Island, just testing it, and the quality underwater is fantastic. Now, in Costa Rica, we didn't have that luxury of having that housing. So some of it was actually shot on the iPhone, which some of it's okay, but some of it I'm just not massively happy with it. And then the bull shark stuff was shot by a guy called Roll Bin, who he was on the dive. We had a proper dive team with us, which was quite cool. So he did the GoPro stuff with the bull shark diving, and that was kind of okay. But I'd love to go back and film more underwater there, but using the Sony that we use on the surface. But yes, in answer to your question, it's shot in 4K. So yeah,
which is tricky, isn't it? Because it presents a whole problem in itself with storage of all that data, because and processing as well. You know, it's as cameras are moving on in technology and lenses and things like that. It's the whole, once you've got all that information and you take all these hours of video, and you know that soon clock up, you then somehow got to store all that, and that takes quite a bit
right.
doing, and
you're
organizing
right. And
as well.
I found that's one of the problems, because with photography, obviously been involved in that for years, with sort of magazines and books and all that kind of stuff. We shoot kind of quite big format pictures, but then they're not that big. So yeah, since filming, I've filled up 3 terabytes. Since we started our sort of filming career, if you like, I've got 3 terabytes of hard drives full. I mean, we fill up probably 1.5 a year or something like that. So yeah, that is a thing, dealing with that. That has been a challenge, and something, because we're always learning in this business. It's kind of new to us, the whole filmmaking thing, but that is one of the big things. Yeah. And I like to have physical, I've got some of these sort of SanDisk terabyte hard drive things here, and I don't want to rely on cloud technology, storing things in like the ether. I'm a bit old fashioned, and I want to sort of own it and have it in my hand.
And you want the backup of backup. So I was listening to a podcast of one of the cameramen for the Grand Tour just before Christmas, and they were saying exactly the same thing. There's that their problems when they go into like the deserts and somewhere far, reach from Western civilization, to make, they rack up massive amount of data with their cameras. And because we only, in the TV program, we only see one line of camera, but they've probably got several cameras, all 4K, and all this stuff has to be stored and backed up. And this guy was saying, I forget his name now, was saying that was one of the biggest issues that they found, as the cameras were getting bigger and better, more data they were recording. It was the actual storage of it and then processing, because they just got so much.
Exactly. And I don't believe really, from what we're doing, we need to film in anything more than 4K, but you can film in 6 and 8K. I mean, like, who wants to be doing that? So
one of ours is 8K, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got the Insta360. We've got the Insta365 and the Ace Pro Insta, and that can record in 8K. That's crazy.
Wow.
And my old laptop couldn't cope with it. It's just
Wow. And this is it. In fact, I use Final Cut Pro for the editing, and my Mac was just filling up with stuff. So now I actually edit using an external hard drive and work from the hard drive rather than having anything from the computer, because the computer is just ends up being useless in the end. So, but that and batteries, always constantly charging batteries. You could almost just sort of, you need like an assistant, just like, right, you're just doing like batteries and storage, do that. But we don't have that luxury.
Can we go back to the diving a bit? So the diving that you did, that was all off from a boat, and you had a dive team, and they provided the air, things like that, and the refills, most of the equipment.
Yes. Yeah, so all the diving was sort of laid on. So the first half of the trip in the South Pacific part of the country was to do with this wilderness lodge, and they had their own boat and a guide, and it was just sort of 1-to-1, me and this guy called Sebastian, which was cool. And then the second part of the trip was really interesting, because we had a company called Kraken Divers, owned by a really nice guy called Kraken Divers. Yeah, well, so this guy Daniel, it was his company, and then a couple of people working for him, and then these marine biologists, 3 marine biologists, I think they were on the boat, and then me and Núria, and we were with them for sort of 3 days of diving, and it was fantastic. You know, it felt like kind of being in, you know, do you remember the TV series Oceans with Paul Rose and people? It was a bit like a mini version of that. And these guys knew everything about the area and, you know, took me to these amazing dive sites and explained everything. So, and they just, had all the air and everything was provided by, they were supporting the project. So that was all taken care of. Yeah. And so we were all very well looked after in a diving sense.
Costa Rica, is it known for its diving? Do they have an active and, you know, diving scene with dive centres and liverboards?
Yeah, I don't think, as far as I could tell, there's a big liverboard culture there, but certainly diving is big, and but certainly as in, you know, people who live there rather than visiting divers. I suspect they probably get a few from, you know, the United States go down there diving, but equally they probably like going to the Caribbean and places like that, because that's very, like St. Lucia and those sort of islands. So I think it's popular, and certainly with the kind of local fraternity, that's where it's strongest, I would say, rather than tourism. You know, there are big pelagic things you can see there, so, you know, big sharks, whale sharks, mantas, whales, but it's not up there though, I don't think, with, you know, the well-known places to go, but it's certainly I think it's reasonably well known, should we say.
Yeah, I've got a hunch. We did a bit of work with a travel company called Dive Americas, and I think they went to Costa Rica.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that just rings bells. Yeah, so we'll have to look that up. But it was more organised, bespoke trips, which again is good because it fits in with the Costa Rica kind of thing where it's not mass tourism.
Exactly, I was going to say that. It's certainly not mass diving tourism. It's not a sort of liverboard factory type destination or anything like that. It's a bit more niche, but
Why did you call the diving with the bull sharks interesting? Did you have a sort of a funny moment with them?
Well, it was what Costa Rica is like really wild. You know, the from the rainforests to the, like, for example, where we stayed in this rainforest that then led down into the beach, you couldn't go swimming from the beach because there was very ferocious currents that would just sort of take you off the beach. So, you know, you just felt like nature was, we weren't, you know, it's not a place where they control nature. Nature sort of controls them.
Yeah.
And so, and it was the same with this bull shark diving site. We went out there. It's probably about an hour to get there on this boat, and it was extremely wild. They're just these. It's called Bat Island. These big rocks just sticking out of the sea, with these great big sort of white and turquoise water smashing against these rocks, roaring as it, you know, you get there and you think, yeah, I'm not really in a place where we're meant to be. And, you know, it wasn't just sort of flat, calm sea, tropical. Oh, look, you can see the bottom when you look out the boat. It was really wild and rough. And you could tell we were going to do something that, wasn't for everyone. Yeah. So I was, you know, up for it, and I've done all sorts of diving from freezing cold water to, you know, warm water, whatever, everything in between. But I do remember thinking, I was a little bit, I'm going to say scared, actually. I was thinking, good grief. And the briefing, they were great. You know, obviously these guys have been there a lot. And they're saying, we might have to go to 30 meters, depending where they are, but we don't really want to, because obviously the bottom time just runs out. And
Was you
so
on air or nitrox?
on air, but he
Okay.
said normally they're at 20 meters, so
Right.
that's kind of quite comfortable. And he said the problem is at 20 meters where they normally are, there's a really annoying thermocline. And so obviously the visibility is a bit rubbish, but with the thermocline, it's sort of even worse. So luckily the thermocline wasn't so bad, but it was there. And we went down, and then these things just appear out of the gloom, and they are enormous, these sharks. And they come pretty close because they're curious of you. And thankfully I had this camera in Nauticam housing with two big lights taking photographs, actually, and I did not get a single good photograph. But I felt quite happy sort of hiding behind it.
Yeah, it must be amazing, but scary.
Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah. You have to keep looking over your shoulder. These things come behind you, and
You nip up
you really felt
moments.
like, you are in their environment, and it's quite humbling, I suppose, for want of a better word. But yeah.
I just remember a sentence that you said when we were on the boat before the diving. He said, "Oh, no worry, guys. I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm not nervous. Just to think I'm going after the tastiest one." Do you remember that?
Was he beating
exactly.
his chest before he went in, was he?
What? Sorry?
No,
Was he beating his
I was a bit
chest before
quiet.
he went in?
Oh, yeah. Well, he was, not saying anything, but I could tell he was a bit nervous. Are you going to be all right? Well, yeah, no problem, yeah. Yeah, they don't do anything, these animals. Yeah, it's going to be all right.
Were you a bit
But,
nervous
yeah.
while he was under the water?
I think I was, yes.
It's funny. I mean, I've dived with quite a lot of sharks over the years, and obviously, you guys, I'm sure you've seen them. They're beautiful creatures. But one thing, because the visibility was odd and wasn't always great, when we left the dive site to surface, there must have been 30 huge sharks down there. And when you start ascending, and then suddenly you can't see the bottom or anything, you think, these guys are just sort of down there, and you're expecting one just to sort of appear underneath you at any moment.
Yeah.
So that was funny.
Yeah.
I think it's fine to feel like that, and I think it's fine to admit you're scared and fine to be concerned. I think that's what keeps us alive, and also I think that's what keeps you keeps you on your A game as well, especially
I
on
think
a
it's quite
difficult dive
healthy.
like that.
It's certainly a healthy. Well, I'd say more respect, I think, than fear. Just sort of knowing that you're in their environment, and you really have to kind of check. I think really those are sometimes the safest environments, because I think the most dangerous environments are probably when you're doing something that you're going into thinking, oh, this will be easy. It's just a shallow 10-meter warm dive, clear water. That's when you're not really paying attention to the things that you should be doing to keeping yourself safe. And so, often what one would consider more dangerous is safer than. I think they say that you're more likely to have an accident sort of near your house on a road than you are elsewhere, because if you're driving home and you're near the house, you've just switched off, because it's just second nature to be where you are.
Yeah, complacency, isn't it?
Complacency.
So Nura, when are you going to learn to dive?
I was thinking this next April with a couple of friends. I've decided that I really want to go now after being in Costa Rica, and so and I'm sure the way I am, that I like to explore, being on the mountains, like discovering new things. Yeah, it feels like it's the right moment to give it a go now.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and it puts it into a whole new perspective, like climbing these really massive mountains and being up on these sheer drops, and underwater is another adventure as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you
Also,
can snorkel, you can dive, because diving just gives you more air.
Yeah.
yeah, this is what we always tells me, because I don't know where this fear about jellyfishes comes from, but I always had it. And he always tells me, look, when you're snorkeling, it's like you feel unprotected a little bit, but it's a different story when you're diving, because you are there and you can do this more or less the same movements or change direction, or you see them, and and it feels more like you're more protected. So yes, I'm really keen to do that now.
That's
Good,
good.
good.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so your film is going to be at the Lisbon Underwater Film Festival this Friday, coming Friday, the 13th of February, 2026.
Yes.
So is that up for an award, or is it just being there for people to see?
It's been, so basically it got selected to be screened there, which
Yeah.
for us is an award in itself, because it's quite a big film festival with some famous judges that we respectable judges, and some really high end sort of films there. I mean, ours is nothing in comparison budget wise to some of the films that were made, that we've shown then. It's over 3 days. And then there are awards given to films. The judges obviously will select their favourites. I think there might be possibly an audience sort of selected award as well. But yeah, essentially we're excited because we can go on stage, as is being shown at about 7:30 in the evening on the Friday, the 13th, this Friday. Oh, that's the 13th, isn't it? And so we can go on stage and present our film and say, hi, we're Núria and Will, and this is our film. Thank you for coming. Yeah, that in itself is for us an award. It's one. Núria, remind me, is it 2 or 3 actual awards? I can't remember.
3. We've got 3.
3.
Yeah, wow,
Yeah.
that's really
Yeah.
good.
What was your 3 awards?
I'll have to remember where they came from, but basically, we enter. There's this fantastic platform called Film Freeway, which is actually good for photography as well, and it's a hub where it lists and gives you access to all of the film festivals in the world that are associated with this big this Film Freeway. So we've put the project on there. We've entered it into a load, and we've had some success. But on the thumbnail on our YouTube channel, in fact, I think we might have sent you it as well. It has, they're called laurels, that kind of like crest thing. So it's got the laurels on the on the thumbnail. Núria, I haven't got it in front of me, but Núria might be able to find it.
Yeah, no, I found it. So we've got Future of Film Awards. Then we had this award for the voiceover. Remember, Will?
Oh, we did. Yeah, that was for an American film festival. Yeah, so that won 2 awards. It won one for the voiceover, and then we got something like a special mention for the film.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's really good. We went to the Ocean Film Festival here in the UK. I think it goes all around the world.
Yeah.
But that was in October, November time last year. And yeah, some of the films are just incredible. But again, you can see they are all different budgets, and they're just people with passion that have made them.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a big one on our list, actually. In fact, I think we entered it into that, and it didn't go anywhere. But that's as you say, that's a global traveling film festival that goes around a lot of big theatres, through London and all sorts of places. So yeah, there's a few like that are kind of what I would sort of call big ticket film festivals that you want to get involved with, but you can't be in everything. So yeah, we're just sort of climbing the ladder with it really, and we've had some recognition for that and some sort of non-diving based stuff, but we've got some plans for this coming summer, to make a film. There's one of my favourite places to dive in this country is a place called the Medes Islands in the northeast, sort of Catalan Costa Brava part of the country, and it's fantastic. If you haven't been there, I invite you right now to come out. Sort of September is the best time really, because it's fewer tourists, but really,
what makes it special?
Just the best. Well, it's a protected marine reserve in the Mediterranean, which people always say the Med is dead, but this place is different. The islands are about 2 kilometers off the beach, so not far to get to on a boat. Amazing caves that you can go and explore underwater. Incredible sort of soft corals, Gorgonian sea fans, loads of grouper, big shoals of fish, anchovies, rays, you name it.
Wow.
And come sort of late summer and sort of September, October, it's packed with marine life. Yeah. And it is properly protected. So there's a rota system with the dive boats there, and only one dive boat can go to one dive site at any one time. And the history, it goes back to, I think, the early 80s when they realised that, it was a special place and needed protection. And because I've been to other places in the Mediterranean where they claim there's some sort of level of protection, but there isn't, and there's nothing to see. But this is different, this place, and it sort of shows you what the Mediterranean kind of could look like if and yeah, so it's a special place. So we want to make a bit of a film about that, and interview local people that have been there from the beginning, and incorporate some old kind of old footage and photos, and really get a feel for the story of the place.
Yeah, that sounds great.
We're working on that now.
Yeah, that's quite an industrialized sea, isn't it? The Mediterranean. So many countries feed into that and use it as their for all sorts of things, and so yeah, I think it'd be a good idea to do something about the Mediterranean.
Yeah, I think so, because the Mediterranean, I believe I read somewhere, it's under a huge amount of pressure, sort of certainly tourist wise. In fact, I think it's up there with one of the most popular tourist destinations in the world.
Yeah.
And you imagine all of those countries that use the Mediterranean as their coastline. It's there's a lot of pressure on it. So I think to kind of showcase what the best of it would be a fun thing to do. And I love the diving there. I dive a lot with this small dive centre, really nice people, and I just love it. The other great thing about it is, you can stay. I usually, it's about an hour of drive from Núria's house, and I stay on a campsite with our camper van. Well, Núria's camper van. I sold mine, but I'm calling it our camper van now. But one of the best things about it, it's got an Indian restaurant there.
Oh, Indian.
Yeah, because I really miss food like that. So I go and have a nice few dives, and then go and have a lovely curry afterwards and a couple of pints.
Well, it sounds like you've definitely got some good plans ahead. Yeah. So, and any more trips abroad diving planned?
Nothing. No, nothing planned. I'd love to go back to the Azores. At this film festival, I'll be meeting up with a couple of people that I dived with there a few years ago. That is one of my favourite places, the Azores. So it would be great to go there again. But yeah, no sort of travelling planned. I do have another kind of project on the go, and that is potentially to try and save or not the book Dorset Dives that I wrote, which was 10, 11 years ago now. It's just gone out of print. So I don't know whether my publisher, Dived Up Publications, said, look, it's going to be out of print. I'm not sure, shall we continue it? We don't have the artwork anymore, so we'd have to kind of really reconstruct it. So I'm considering doing a kind of crowdfunding campaign to kind of save Dorset Dives.
Yeah, that's a good idea, because UK diving is, needs to be shouted about.
It does. And Dorset, that book is sort of ticked over, and it's still we'd replace a fair few of the photographs because some of them are a bit old fashioned now, but I think it would be a shame to let it go completely. So that's something I'm considering doing. So
there are some great dives on that south coast, isn't there? All around there.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you get a crowd,
do you guys get down there much diving?
We did.
Swanage Pier, we did.
Yeah.
Last summer, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fair old jaunt for us. It's about 5-6 hours, isn't it, minimum?
Yeah, I suppose it is, because you're in Norfolk, aren't you?
Yeah. Because when we spoke on the previous podcast, we said about diving at Weybourne, and for you to come along. So...
Yeah, because I have been diving there years ago, and it was really good. But is that a regular kind of place that you go to? Is it those dive sites?
Last summer, they had a great dive season. There were lots of dives going on off the coast. Yeah, the visibility was good. Weather was good. Yeah. So it's the previous year was all a bit rubbish, I think, wasn't it? So we are so weather dependent, and visibility wise as well. It makes a huge difference.
Yeah, that is UK diving, isn't it? But when it's good, it's really good. So it's kind of always worth continuing doing it, because you know that there's going to be that day that it's going to be brilliant.
Some of the South Coast Facebook groups, they're constantly diving down there and posting some really good pictures of some of the dives that they're doing down there, like Plymouth Sound. Really clear viz.
It can be really good. And also I noticed there's, as time ticks on, there's new faces coming through in photography. It used to be the sort of same old kind of people, but it's nice to see that there are, younger people sort of coming up, producing really, really nice photos, and keeping that kind of culture going in the UK. So it's nice to see.
And that's something we always say. It's about inspiring the younger divers to keep them diving. And, maybe photography is another avenue they can go down to keep them inspired and keep the diving going. Because we'd say a lot of people will just do, a bit of a dive, do their course, and then they disappear to the next, extreme sport to do. And we again lose the momentum of keeping people diving. So anything that we can do to kind of inspire people to capture their imagination underwater is really important.
I think it's these days, certainly if you compare it to say 10 years ago, it's easier to record what you're doing underwater. With you can take, there's good housings for iPhones, and very good small cameras that you can take with you, and so I think that's more accessible for people. I think certainly less is more. And I'm now carrying this Sony Alpha with these two great big video lights underwater, but I'm quite happy doing that. But equally, it's quite nice just sort of taking an iPhone down in a housing and just having that just sort of hanging off you, and you don't. Yeah, so I think that's probably appealing for people. For sure.
Yeah, and I think, as technology progresses, even for Ian and I diving, we've gone from, you know, using the Olympus, and then we've got the Insta360s that bring a whole new perspective, you know, with the way that you can configure what you're filming. It's just, really amazing.
Yeah, I saw a shot that you took in, I think it was in Stony Cove next to the, what's it called, Nautilus, the submarine there. Yeah, it looks really cool. Yeah, you can do some fun things with it.
It's really clear at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, no, well, that's really good to hear, what you've been up to since we last spoke to you. It's, certainly, exciting stuff.
Try the crowdfunding and see what happens. See, I think you'll find you probably would get quite a bit of support, I think.
I think I'm going to give it a shot. Yeah, I think I will. And we're also going to try it with this, we're looking sort of try and secure some funding for some of the filmmaking stuff we're doing, because one of the most important expensive things about making diving films is the diving. Diving isn't cheap.
No,
we wouldn't expect the dive centre to sort of give us 20 dives for nothing, something like that. So trying to sort of generate a bit of sponsorship for that will be a thing as well. But I think we will see where it goes with Dorset Dives, and if it doesn't happen, then that's fine. That's meant to be. It's kind of, it will have run its course, and it will become a history book.
Yeah. Have you approached people like Portugal? What's that? Dive Talks in Portugal? Is it Dive Talks?
Oh yeah, Diving Talks. Yeah.
That's
that's a good one. In fact, hopefully we'll meet some people from that on Friday, if I can get out of this house because of the road. But so there should be some people at the Lisbon Film Festival from there. So that
could be
a good networking opportunity.
Well,
exactly.
anything you set up, ping it our way, and we'll do our best to put it out on our social media as well. Yeah.
Perfect. No, I'd really appreciate that.
Yeah.
So yes.
Yeah. Are you going to the Go Diving show in the UK?
I won't be going there. Is it in March?
28th of Feb and 1st of March.
Yeah, no, because we'll still be sort of messing about here a little bit, really. But I don't really get back to the UK that much. I haven't been back for quite a while, but it would be. It probably would be worth it, to be fair. I won't rule it out, but probably not. If not this year, then next year for sure.
Okay. That's good.
You guys will be wandering around, will you?
We will.
Some podcasting.
We'll talking to anybody and everyone. Well, it's a good way to meet people, new people, and catch up with previous people we've spoken to, or people that listen as well. So it's anything to spread the word of diving as well.
Absolutely. I think you guys are doing a great job, and you've definitely massively grown your following, certainly since we last spoke. So you're obviously doing a great job, I think. So well done, you guys.
Try our best, and thank you. So all our guests, we ask set questions to you. So we'll ask them to you both. So the first question is, if you could take 3 people diving, or Núria, if you wanted to take them paddleboarding or kayaking, what 3 people would you each pick, and why? And they don't have to be divers or people. They could be people of the past, but just the reasons for taking them out on the water or under the water. So,
am I starting? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I thought that I'd take kayaking. I thought in the 3 situations, and kayaking, I think I'd take my dog and our follower that comes with us in some adventures. In fact, he's been kayaking as well. He's tiny and he fits the kayak very well. He did enjoy it the first time, but I think it will be better the second time. And diving, I think, as I'm really keen to start diving this next April, my friends that are starting the same adventure with me, David and Marta. So yeah, these 3 people, 1 kayaking and 2 diving.
Yeah, that's great.
I would take if to go diving. I'd definitely take Núria. I'm quite keen to see her underwater for the first time. I think that would be a great moment. And not that this would happen, but I'd like to take her parents. They wouldn't do that, but because they've been like they're our biggest fans. And they really sort of support. In fact, they're coming to Lisbon with us to the film festival, and they're really sort of supportive, and they kind of enjoy what we're doing. And so it would be in a sort of fantasy world, if you like. It'd be interesting to sort of show them what it's like to see the things that we see underwater. So yeah, that would be Núria and her parents.
That's really special. Yeah, that's lovely. Yeah, good choices. And hopefully, it will happen with seeing Núria under the water. Yeah, soon.
Yeah. I'm imagining my mom now underwater. My God.
Yeah, I think just for comedy value, that it would be interesting.
Excellent. Will, what gets you out of your comfort zone?
Basically, all the things that we're doing. I suffer terribly with imposter syndrome. So let's say I got commissioned in the summer just gone to make a film in the Austrian Alps and the Italian Alps about these 2 paraglider pilots. And because they'd seen some other work that we did, and they said, "Oh, can you come and make this film?" We sort of paid for it. And I just think whenever I'm doing something like that, I don't feel like I almost like deserve to be there. I think, oh, this is what kind of real filmmakers do. What am I doing? What am I doing here? And I think it's quite healthy at the same time. So I think if you walk into a project thinking, yeah, I can do this. Yeah, I'm a pro. I've got a really expensive camera and a really nice shiny microphone. I think if you go into it with that attitude, it's just going to end up going wrong. And so I do walk into any of these projects thinking, oh God, I'm not sure what I'm doing here really. Can I do this, or can we do this? So yeah, the answer to the question is sort of anything that we've been doing filmmaking wise takes me out of my comfort zone, but I think in a positive way.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. How about you, Núria?
I feel a bit out of place in very big cities. Because I'm used to live in tiny places, tiny villages where there's no underground or anything like that, and I do really feel lost in the underground wall. I mean, what line am I taking? Where am I going? This, and also I feel a little bit lost in the society, well, in the general sense of the society, and where this wall is going now, it looks a bit messy for me as well. But so yeah, I feel in my comfort zone when I'm in the mountains and enjoying like nature. Pura vida, like they say.
Pura vida.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like it's definitely had an impact on you. Definitely being in Costa Rica, which is great. That's good. Yeah, and then our final question is: if you had a billboard, so you could put a video, pictures, a statement on it, but the whole world would see it, what would you put on your billboard?
Will you start this one?
Okay, so I've got several answers really. I suppose sort of if I was trying to think of something that was a bit sort of profound and deep, I would probably just have a very small picture of planet Earth surrounded with black, just to kind of remind people of kind of where we are. And Núria was saying that society is a bit of a strange place these days. I think people sort of forget that we are just this sphere in this enormous expanse of black, and I think we should remember that. And then I thought, well, no, I'll be a bit more relevant, and I'm going to ask if anyone knows how to rebuild a road. Seeing as I can't get out of the house, and it seems to me like probably not too difficult thing to do. So, can anybody build a road?
You're advertising for a digger.
Could have a deep secret meaning as well.
Bit of concrete, yeah, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, can't be that hard.
And how about you, Núria?
Well, I was thinking something similar, Image, but we haven't spoke about that before. So, because I think what I personally find quite hard is to wait, be patient about things, and I keep repeating myself, Núria, respect the space time, because things at the end, if you look for things and you fight for things, these things end up happening, but they never happen when you want them to happen. And so I keep repeating myself, Núria, just respect the space time. And the image would be the universe itself, because I think everything follows one rule, and it's space and time. But more or less the same image as Will.
Yeah, that's good.
Because we're both Pisces, we come up with the same answers.
Yeah, you're far apart, but you think the same. So there you go.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if people want to find out more about you and what you're up to, have you got a website they can go to?
Yes, they can go to amphibiouscollective.com. So this is our sort of little collective production umbrella, if you like. So Amphibious Collective. And our Instagram is also amphibious_collective, or at Will Appleyard on Instagram, or willappelliard.com, which is a website I keep forgetting I've got, and I occasionally update. But so any of those things. But also we have a YouTube channel, which is also in my name, just YouTube Will Appleyard, and that will have everything that we've sort of done collectively on there. So that's where we are. That's where we live.
Yeah, well, we'll put the links in the show notes so that everybody can click them and find out more about you.
Perfect, thank you.
And we wish you lots of luck on Friday, the 13th of February at the Lisbon Film Festival.
Thank you. No, I appreciate that. We'll do some posts and stories and things, and we'll tag you guys in there if you want to be involved in that as well.
That'd be good. Thank
definitely.
you.
Yeah, we'll reshare it and get it out there. So it's really important. Yeah.
Perfect. Appreciate it.
Well, it's been great having you on the Big Scuba podcast.
Oh, it's been
thank you.
A pleasure to be here.
Yeah, pleasure to be back.
Yeah, it's been good seeing you guys.
We'll do it again in another 6 years.
Yes. Yeah, we sort of celebrated our 6th birthday last week.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Wow. Yeah, so you were really in your infancy then as well, weren't you?
Yeah. You were episode 44 and 45. Yeah.
Really?
We spoke to some of the contributors to the Wild and Temperate Seas. I think like Elaine Whiteford, or we read some of it out on one of the episodes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So we'll we'll keep in touch, and we'll make it a 6-year sort of anniversary thing. For sure.
We'll celebrate our birthday when we're 12, and we'll be knocking on your door again.
Yeah. I'll be waiting. I'll probably still be stuck in this house waiting for a new road.
You're still stuck. And keep in touch. Yeah, and anything you want us to share in between time over the next 6 years, let us know.
Awesome. No, we will. It'll either be the book Save Dorset Dives, and or the Meadows Islands film. So yes, we'll chat further about that. Absolutely, appreciate it.
Yeah,
brilliant.
we need to look those islands up as a dive destination, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, you must come out. It's fantastic. You can fly to Girona, which is a really nice little airport.
Yeah.
And or Barcelona, but Girona's much nearer. It's only about what, Núria, 30 minutes drive or something from Girona?
Yeah,
The
like this,
town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's the same in Barcelona, maybe it's 40, 51 hour or something, depending on the traffic. So
Yeah.
more or less
but yeah, to Girona, and is the best bet. Loads of accommodation.
It's much comfortable.
It's brilliant, and the diving's great because you the journey on the boat is like 10 minutes. So yeah, it is just I think you really enjoy it, so you should keep in touch about that. Come out there, come out here.
Look it up.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's good to find out, places off the beaten tracks as such as well, not, your typical.
It's funny because you rarely see any British divers there.
No.
In fact, it's really close to the French border, so 70% of the divers are French, weirdly, and then the rest of the 30% are sort of Catalan, Spanish, the odd English, some Dutch, Germans, but not really known to UK divers.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I've not heard of it before.
Yeah, you hear about no, no, you hear about Malta a lot, but that's kind of it.
Exactly. Yeah. So we'll keep in touch about that because I think you'd really enjoy it.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Okay, well we'll get that. We'll keep in touch, and good luck with your diving journey as well. So that sounds really exciting.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll follow you into the Medes in two possible ways, or kayaking or diving. Let's see what happens.
Yes.
Thank you very much for having me, and it's been lovely. So thank you very much for this.
Thanks for coming on. Thanks for giving us your time.
Yeah, it's been lovely to have you both on, and good luck with your future filmmaking as well.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, well, enjoy the rest of your evening, and
we'll
keep in touch.
See ya.
Okay.
Thanks very much.
All right, lovely. Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
See you guys. Bye.
See you.
Excellent. So we want to say thank you to Will and Núria for coming on and giving us some of their time. And hey, well done to the powers of the networking and things like that kept us all in communication. I don't think we broke up once, which was good.
No, and that's the first time we've had like a 4-way Zoom for a while, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Worked really well.
Yeah.
So and it's great to catch up with Will. Obviously, he's a previous guest, but yeah, he's obviously done so much since the last time we spoke to him almost 6 years ago.
Yeah. So look up the film. It's called Voices of the Pura Vida.
Pura Vida. Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see that because it's Costa Rica. Just sounds like an incredible country.
It's on YouTube. It's on his YouTube.
Yeah. So get watching that. But again, it's great to hear that a country is taken on board conservation and really empowered all the people that live there. And good to hear the government's behind it. And it's going to make
it a balancing act, isn't it? Because if the people who aren't in the tourist industry, they're going to be out there fishing and hunting and things like that. But you also need the tourist industry to come over for that as well. So it's fine balancing act, and you don't want all this area being built over by massive, great big complexes and hotels and things like that. But then you need the tourists to come to keep the local industries going as well.
Yeah, it is a balancing act, and it's getting that balance, just right. And there are a lot of places in the world where it has gone badly wrong, but good on Costa Rica, really. And And the
it was really quite. I'm not sure what it's like so much these days, but I remember reading about it years ago, and that being, like a big toilet. Basically, it's so badly polluted.
Yeah,
I
lack
don't
of
think it's as
fish.
bad as it used to be. I don't think the Med.
No, but I think it's what the marine life has changed. The amount of fish that comes from the Mediterranean. There's a lot of farms, bass farms, bream farms.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just how well controlled it is. But
And most countries, especially EU countries, are more aware. So they've probably
mm,
cleaned up the sewage and all this sort of stuff, and how they recycle litter, and the Med's not being used as a dumping ground like it used to
mm.
be.
Yeah, but
So
what he said, there's a lot of countries that have the coastline of the Mediterranean and all
yeah,
their input into it. It's not something you really think about. And it's
no,
a very small sea,
but
ocean compared to like the
but
Pacific or the
countries like
Atlantic.
Costa Rica probably see how these other countries have done had success stories
Mm,
with what they've done, and probably learn from them as well. And I suppose it's all part of the United Nations and these organizations and charities that go over there that help raise up different sort of standards and stuff.
yeah, yeah. But no, it's good to sort of chat to somebody else about another part of the world. And obviously you mentioned the Mendes Islands in northeast Spain as a
Mm,
well protected place and a good place to go diving. So we're going to look that
yeah,
up. Yeah.
yeah. And he's got his I knew he had his books out there. So the obviously, we spoke before about the wild and temperate seas,
Mm.
but Discover UK Diving, Dorset Dives. So done quite a bit on UK diving.
Yes, yeah. So hopefully he'll get those back in print and we'll be able to promote them again, and get people looking at them and reading them.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, it's good. And I think, we wish Nora luck with her scuba journey when she starts.
Yeah.
So that'd be good.
Yeah, well, hopefully, she's got the passion of Will and his diving that, hopefully will spur her on and, take a look under
I
the
bet
under the
that
water.
I bet diving in with those bull sharks must have been sort of interesting, as you say.
Yeah, and the actual conditions as well sounded pretty difficult. So
Yeah, it's, yeah, I can just imagine jumping in, and if you know they're down there, and then you get 30 of them. It only takes one to think, oh, is that food?
yeah, so hiding behind the camera was probably a good tactic for
I
Will.
was going to say, did,
It
did a
kind of
little
gives you
bit
a bit
did a little bit of
security.
poo pop out as you're holding the camera? Oh!
Yeah, a bit of a security blanket as such, isn't it? But yeah, but he's obviously done lots of dives. But yeah, again, he was right in what he said about you can't get complacent about any
Oh
dive.
no,
And, it is better to be a little bit scared because you then are thinking about what you're doing.
that's not a dive for everybody. That's a dive for with some experience, and and going down there and being on your A game, because if that's bad viz, strong
Mm.
currents, and you're holding the camera as well,
And you've got
that's
these
not.
amazing marine
And
animals.
yeah, exactly. And that's not easy diving at its best. So yes,
Yeah.
you need your A game on you for that one.
Yeah.
And if you're on your A game, who are you going to need for support?
Knocked at 90.
Of course.
Yeah, so Knocked at 90, they cater for recreational right through to all variations of technical divers, whether you're, side mount right through to rebreather. And if you've got any tweaks that need to be made to your rebreather or you need some advice, they are the people to go to. They are experienced people that have a wealth of diving experience, and they have pioneered where we are today, really,
Yeah.
on particularly the rebreather units.
Yeah. We had a little chat with them recently, haven't we? And that's coming out
Mm.
in in a couple of weeks' time of our chat with them.
We'll be out by the time this podcast comes out, actually.
Yeah, and
go back and listen to it.
Oh yeah, probably will be, won't it?
Yeah, will. Yeah.
So, but if you listen to this first, go back and listen to us talking to them, because it's a good chat, because they're talking about some of their things that they've tried, and some things work, some don't.
Yeah, mistakes have to be made to move forward, and they tell us about a few sketchy stories as well, which is always good to hear.
Yeah.
That's good. But Narked at 90, the link is in the show notes. Click it and find out more about what they do.
Yeah, good. Okay, I think that's kind of covered everything, hasn't it? I think for this episode.
Yes, don't forget there's a whole back catalogue of episodes where we've spoken to all sorts of people connected to the watery world. So if you are just new to the podcast, there are over 200 episodes to go back to listen to. And tell your friends, spread the word, and get this.
Wherever you download us, don't forget to leave us a 5-star review. That helps your dive buddy find us.
Yes, so thank you for downloading, and this was the Big Scuba podcast.